Good morning, everyone. Before I started to introduce our learning unit, let's imagine this. A student who has spent years learning English by memorizing vocabularies, parsing exams, but when someone asks them a simple question like, "Can you introduce yourself?" they freeze and they are hesitant to speak out. So this is not just a simple case. In fact, many Chinese students learn English through textbooks and test preparation, but they still struggle to use it in real-life communication. So our course Speak Up is designed to solve actually this problem and want to encourage the students to be confident enough to speak English. So the purpose of our course is simple but powerful. We aim to help students move from knowing English to using English. By the end of the course, students will be able to first use basic English to greet others and introduce themselves. And we also hope they can express their ideas and preference in a full sentences and also engage in simple conversations. Which is most important is that they can support their understanding of text with evidence. What makes these objects important is that they are not just about academic. They are practical, measurable, and transferable to a real life. Our target learners are Chinese elementary students in grade 4 to 6. These students who already know some basic vocabularies but still struggle to form complete sentences, and they may feel anxious about speaking and they have no opportunities to practice in real life communication. So the key issue is not about ability, it's about the confidence and the environment they stay in. And also the timing is really essential. If students build their confidence early, they are much more likely to see English as a communication tool but not just a school subject. Now, when we turn to our course design, our course is designed as a progress learning journey. We divide learning into four stages. The stage one, awareness and low pressure speaking. Stage two, skill building. Stage three is the real life application, and stage four turn to the student's performance and transfer. We can see each stage gradually increase the complexity while maintaining the support. You can see our how we design our 10 lessons for the students. And what makes this design strong is that it follows how learners actually build confidence from safe practice to the guide use and to independent communication. Now, if we like to pick one lesson that we are proud of, we will choose our VR lesson. In this lesson, students practice the real life phrase like, could I use your? Do you have an extra? And sure, here you go. But instead of just repeating sentences from teacher, students will enter a simulate classroom scenario and they were able to interact with peers and practice the turn taking and finally complete a short dialogue in context. This transforms learning from like just memorization into experience-based communication. When we talk about our instructional theory, our course is grounded in strong learning theory. The constructive learning is one of the most important theory because students learn by using language in real contexts. And we also do the active learning that students speak, move, and interact, not just and listen from teacher. So we also focus on the universal design of learning principle by offering some visual support, audio support, and real life support, and also the non-VR alternative that make classroom have much better atmosphere. Now we turn to our evaluation plan. We measure success using a full-level evaluation model. The first and the most basic one is the students' reaction about how students feel from these classes. And we will give them a service and we will have their feedback to show what's their opinion about our lessons. And the next step is the learning. Learning is about what students can learn from our course. We will give them a checklist and speaking test to show if they really have learn some knowledge from our lessons. And the next step, the step 3 is behavior. Behavior is how students can apply these skills, like from the role play and real interactions. And finally, the result. It's overall impact that to show if our lesson can increase confidence and communication ability for students. We also introduce 3 key checkpoints. The early stage evaluation, the mid-unit VR performance, and final role play assessment. So this gives us a clear, measurable outcomes, which is critical for scalability and funding decisions. Finally, we have our value proposition. It's about why we choose to design this course and why we need invest of this course. The first of all, this address a real gap that disconnect between textbook English and real communication. And secondly, it produced measurable results using struggled assessments and performance data. Third, it used a technical strategical plan about the VR or AR enhanced learning rather than just distracting from it. And finally, it is scalable and cost effective. So since most materials are teacher centered and adaptable, so we will not spend a lot of money on this course. So, as a conclusion, this course is not just about the teaching English. It is about giving students the confidence to speak, to connect, and participate in the world. We are helping students move from silence to expression, and from hesitation to confidence, from learning English to living English. Thank you so much.